Hello, y'all. Welcome to Bamm Raw TV. I'm Bamm, aka the 411 Giant. This is part 2 of P. Diddy.
And of those 8 celebrities, how many of them were intoxicated or under the influence of drugs?
This is going to be all speculation. I just want to preface it by he wouldn't know if they were. Right.
Sure.
Appear to be.
Let me rephrase it.
Based on, yes.
Understand. Out of the 8 celebrities who were recorded having intimate relations with Sean Combs, how many of them appear to be either inebriated or intoxicated or under the influence?
All of them. All of them.
Now that Diddy's dealing with a pile of legal problems, Williams is back in the spotlight, sharing her thoughts on his arrest.
What is really weird is that I have been told by so many people, Wendy, you called it.
In fact, if you look closely, P. Diddy has become much more reserved recently. That's a stark contrast to his comments from the late 90s when his wild white parties were making headlines. Interestingly, most of the current allegations are connected to that time frame, specifically between 1995 and 2021.
You're gonna hear about my party, they're gonna be shutting them down, they're gonna probably be arresting me, doing all types of crazy things just because we wanna have a good time.
The rapper complained that he often struggled to get permission for his events and explained it this way.
Whenever you bring up a different element into people's environment, things that broaden people's horizons, people get intimidated.
Still, those white parties became a staple of the Hollywood.
It's hard to say which is more off the hook, a Diddy party or a Diddy after party, or a Diddy after party, which is basically a pre-party for the next Diddy party.
In 2002, P. Diddy appeared on Conan O'Brien's show, who wanted to know the secret to throwing a successful rapper's party.
You're legendary for the parties that you throw.
I'm a legend, baby, for a whole bunch of things.
Yes.
You know.
Well, what he revealed is pretty alarming today.
This is what you need to do. Women, beautiful women, of course.
Beautiful women.
Beautiful men for the ladies, of course.
According to the rapper, there should be an abundance of alcohol for everyone. And then the next most curious thing.
You need locks on the doors.
Okay, this is sounding kind of dangerous now.
It's a little kinky, but
Yeah.
P. Diddy got so into his explanations that he kept going. He also mentioned that the room or house where everything happens has to be really hot.
Yeah.
Heat, you mean that physically the place has to be hot?
You don't have no air conditioning.
No air conditioning. Why is that?
Heat affects the alcohol, and it also affects, like, everybody gets a little bit more comfortable and loose. Builds up a nice little sweat.
O'Brien seemed a bit baffled by this, didn't he?
That just sounds disgusting. What are you talking about?
Depends on the way you look at it.
Out of those 8, how many appear to be potentially victimized? How many might have been victimizing?
I think all, to be honest, all.
Were victims
They
or
victims.
were perpetrating?
Victims.
They were all 8 were victimized.
Yeah.
Meaning
Victim.
this was happening to them and they were inebriated.
Right. Not knowing, I guess, how much proof it was in it, what they was doing.
Hello, y'all. Welcome to Bamm Raw TV. I'm Bamm, aka the 411 Giant. So hit that like button, subscribe to my channel, and hit that bell icon so you know when my next video come out. This is part 2 of P. Diddy. My expounding on the things, the questions people ask me about P. Diddy and his situation based on his 16-page document, the allegations and everything that have been made against him. And when I stopped in part number 1, I was on why he's not going to make it, or why he's not going to be sent to the certain penitentiary that I know that the Fed makes eligible for people like him with high profiles and things like that. P. Diddy, they got a penitentiary. It's not a penitentiary. It's a FCI in Arizona that is made especially for people, sex offenders, snitchers, and certain people. In order to go on that compound, you actually have to sign a waiver, saying that if you hurt any one of these individuals based on their particular acts in which they committed to be put in jail that you be charged severely. You can be charged severely for it, simply sort of like a hate crime. You can actually be charged severely for it. You have to sign a waiver to that. When you sign that waiver gives them the opportunity, the ability to charge you in that manner because you agree to this. But some dudes do it because Arizona is close to their home, and I don't know why some others do it. But all right, that's the kind of opportunity that they would usually give somebody like P. Diddy. But P. Diddy case is so so monstrous. It's got so much violence in it. It's got so much intimidation in it, and got almost that. They probably wouldn't want to send him there because they would want to send him to a higher class facility to show the public, to show the people that they handling him with extreme prejudice. They are punishing him for these acts that they felt that he done. They're not giving him a slap on the wrist. You understand? Like Bill Cosby, he was super forceful. Bill Cosby snuck a couple of drinks and snuck, which is just as wrong. Put some medicine in the people's drinks, girl drinks, and got them this dude using violence, slapping, and according to the allegations. They're not going to want to send him to a lightweight penitentiary. And his age is a factor too, so they're not going to send him there. But I do say, if they send him somewhere like Arizona, Diddy not going to want to be there anyway. Number one, he's going to either find somebody to make sure they look out for him, which is going to be hard probably in that environment. You're going to find somebody to look out for him, or P. Diddy going to be exposed to some of the same things that allegedly he exposed others to. You got predators down there. You got snitchers. Now, some people believe that all snitchers are cowards. Now, they weak in some aspect. The fact that they couldn't hold their water. But they're not cowards. You got some snitchers that'll kill you just as quick as a gangster will. You understand? You got some snitchers that'll stab you just. You got snitchers got real dudes on the compound scared of them. So, see what I'm saying? So, they're not weak like that. And when you get somebody like P. Diddy in a predatory environment, predators like to prey. When they see an opportunity to prey on another predator, that's like an extra. It's like extra reward. I get to be tough against a tough person opposed to being tough to submissive people. And they get an extra kick out of that. And so therefore, if P. Diddy do go to Arizona, he's gonna have I guess a taste, allegedly, of what he has been doing. Now that's why I say about Arizona. Now, the federal system also do trades. They do trade. They'll trade out inmates. It was several inmates. A guy who went in Aurora, Colorado, and did the shooting and going on because of his high profile and everything. And people they have to send him. They have to send him off to other places for his own safety and everything. So they hire people like that out into state prisons or false names in other prisons. Now that's not going to work for P. Diddy. Because number one, his case is so magnified and his name and his face is so known and synonymous with these situations. There's no way he's going to be able to slide among people under the name of Jeffro Broham, or Jeffro Collins, or Jimmy Castaway. You know, he's not going to make it like that because when everybody see him, they're going to say, that's Puffy, that's P. Diddy. Now, what happened then is going to determine how his bid is. He's going to find a dude that's cool with him, that's got a lot of power, that lack the fact that he was once a star and want to live off that, then and want to eat off of him. Yeah, he going to get that. But if he meet a guy who's running the penitentiary or got influence, who actually don't lack the abuse that they heard has been happening to these women through him and the coercion. Someone may have a child that's been treated like that. Someone may have a sister. Someone may have a mom If that dude there in power, he's gonna get his money, but he gonna give him hell. I don't think he gonna let that money get by. He gonna give him hell. And that's why I say I don't believe that he would be a state transfer exchange, as they call it. And for them to put him in a cell similar to El Chapo, to keep him from being around people for his safety, he don't have the magnitude in his case to be able them to take him and put him on that kind of security level. So he's not going to get that. What he's going to get is the opportunity to check in. If he check in, that's going to give them the ability to keep him over here in this cell by himself, keep him here, different penitentiaries or whatever. They'll find a way, because if he fall under the protection, PC, Protective Custody Act, then they're gonna have to do everything they can to try to protect him. Like I said, they tried it with Jeffrey Dahmer, it didn't work. Now he's gonna try not to go to places like this here. Puffy lawyers gonna fight hard for him not to go to places like this here. It don't always be the individual. It's be a lawyer doing what they think is best for their client. He gonna fight hard not to go to places like this here. But you got to remember, if you look at my video with Whitey Bulger's lawyer fought hard to keep him from going to Hazleton, USP Hazleton, where I was, and I called charge against officers. They fought hard to keep him from going there because of the violence in most USPs, especially, Hazleton, Beaumont, Florence, places like that. They fought to keep him from going there. And when they couldn't do it, the folks did not hear. They did not want to hear it. He's killed all these people. He's supposed to be a gangster. His butt going there. They sit him there. It wasn't a whole day passed that he wasn't dead. He was dead. They went in there and killed him dead. They didn't care nothing about his inability to move around and all it. They went in there and killed him dead. Tried to cut his tongue out of his mouth. Now, that's my take on the situation that he's looking forward to and he have an option with. Now, if the Fed come up with another option for him that I'm not knowing about, these are the ones that I experienced. These are the things that I've seen there. So this is but now this is just wrapping up on the question that people ask me. And the third question they asked me about was the entertainment business. And like I said, in assessing this of that baby oil, the assessing of that baby oil is as they do it. They got a thing that they use. Assessiveness is either for addictions or fear in the Fed. They're gonna, when they use that, when they put Mr. Bamm had to have all these guns because he wanted to have power to take over the streets. He wanted to do this here and do. He just collected the guns because I liked them. But because I'm seen in the light of an enforcer, they're going to make all the guns that I bought just because I like the way they look be used for my intimidating of the streets and of the community. See what I'm saying? So now if another person who was fighting and they want to argue a different thing, that this person is a victim and he had all these guns, the Fed would say, well, my client or such and such had to have all these guns because they were so terribly afraid that Joe Blow would do this to him or Joe Blow would do this to him. They're going to point out there what's beneficial to them. And in P. Diddy case, they're going to say the amount of baby oil there is an addiction. It's not a fear of running out of baby oil because you don't want to be looking ashy. It's an addiction. It's something that's used in his addiction for sex. And it falls in the category where it freaks out. Baby oil all everywhere, sliding around naked, jacking off here, jacking off, doing this here. It falls in the line with what the people been saying. To actually come there and catch all that baby oil there, I find it hard to believe anybody or very few people in America don't think that's freaking. That's a freak thing. Two bottles of baby oil in your bathroom I walk in your bathroom and use your bathroom, and I look up there and I see 2-3 balls of baby oil. I'm saying, this dude a freak. It's some freaky stuff going on in his house. And then you got all these different articles, pleasuring items, adult items and adult toys and stuff that go along with all this baby oil. All these things is consistent with what the people saying. And I think that baby oil most of all express the addictionness and the freakiness of this individual, the allegation, the individual ideal sex and desire for sex and how you want it. You know, it's just not, it's just not, you can't see even a sexual doctor, what's her name? I don't remember her name, but I can't see nobody putting that in context where you say that's a normal thing or that's not too much. That's extremely too much. That's extremely too much. And I think that when all the jury is listening, when they hear and they listen for that baby oil, which it's already all out now. So they already probably, it's gonna be hard to find a jury that haven't already heard some part of it. Some of them just gonna lie just to be on the jury and said they convicted him. So that's why I said, to me, the baby oil did it. It definitely did it, man. It's funny, hilarious, but it's sad at the same point. That man had that's too much baby oil. Ain't nobody in the world supposed to have that much unless you're a store, unless you Johnson & Johnson company. Now, the other thing is to industry. I've met a lot of people, and I'm gonna do this on my part 3, the industry, and what I know from the outside of the industry and the people that I talk to who have done music and been part of music, been part of rap. As people probably know, as some of y'all know, I got cool with KMJJ radio station when their van had got stolen, and I went recovered it for them. And me and the manager, head man there, John, a white guy, he got very, very cool. He used to always bring me tickets down in the bottom. Most of the time, they liked us to be at places because we kept trouble down, or we started. But John had gave all the DJs, Jabba Jow, DJ Dare, DJ Don Gills, every DJ there had consent to let me in anytime I came there. I come in there and I used to get on the radio and I say something going on. Hey, we ain't got no problem with nobody. Nobody better not have no problem with us. Joking, drunk, mess around on station. But I did. Anybody can tell you I had that open doorway. And when I had that open doorway, I met people like Luke, a 2 Live Crew. I will tell you about his story, but I met Luke, I met Too Short, I met Scarface prior to him getting shot up there at the Waffle House. I met Chris Tucker, I met the girl Salt and Low, I think their name's Sweet and Low, Salt and Low, Roxanne Shante, it's just a few more, but I met a lot of them there. And as I said, I know homeboys who've been in music industry. I actually got a homeboy that actually stopped. He got out there. He actually, his words was he got out of the music industry because it looked like the only way he was gonna make it was to sell his booty. That was his exact word. These words came from his mouth. And other thing, before P. Diddy. P. Diddy ain't the first one did it. All right? I love you. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit that bell icon, and come back and see what I got to say to you on number 3. Love you.
Also on the flash drives, Courtney, was what looked to be a manuscript written by, it appears to be a woman who had taken Kim Porter's private journals and had written a book. Is that accurate?
We don't know.
I don't know
how. Yeah.
I don't know how. Who wrote it, put it together, but it was from her when I spoke to her.
As disgraced music mogul Sean Diddy Combs prepares to appear in court to argue for bail a 3rd time, new people are coming forward with disturbing allegations against him. I'm going to dig into 5 new lawsuits filed this week and the impact, if any, they could have on Diddy's federal case.
With all the allegations against the rapper now, it's hard to see this as just a joke. Plus, recently, his colleague Mark Curry shared some memories from their nightclub escapades. mentioning that there were specific rules about who could drink what.
On them bottles right there, they've been to have something to make the girls be real slippery and all of this kind of stuff. So when you get up, they be like, don't touch them bottles right there.
It looks like Ellen DeGeneres might have had some insider info about P. Diddy's infamous parties as well.
No, it'll go from like 9:30 to like maybe 3 o'clock, 3 o'clock. And then, you know, we have the top 2 floors of the hotel.
And then it will carry on there.
Then Combs added that the fun doesn't stop there, alluding to the after parties. And Ellen's reaction to that is definitely worth noting.
No, I know about them. I'll listen to the music.
The TV host quickly distances herself, saying something like, "I don't take part in that." There was another remarkable conversation between the two in 2009 that raises brows these days. It revolved around the scandal where Chris Brown assaulted his then-girlfriend Rihanna.
Because I would like you to clear something up. There's a lot of talk going on with Chris Brown being at your place in Miami, and you arranging Chris and Rihanna getting back together.
As soon as Ellen brings up the serious topic, P. Diddy suddenly starts singing, almost as if to dodge this talk. And when she asks him why he gave Brown his house, he clearly starts to get anxious.
I know both of them, and it's my house. And I'm allowed to give my house to whoever I want to give my house to.
But the host didn't hold back and quickly shared her thoughts on the situation.
I don't want any girl out there thinking it's okay to go back to a guy who hit her.
At the same time, Combs took a different stance, saying it's not as straightforward as it seems.
And we don't know exactly what's going on. But you don't need to start just saying that you know something that you don't know. You wasn't in that car. I wasn't in that car, and it isn't right for him to put his hands on her or her to put his hands on him. And we don't know what the problem is, but we need to pray for them.
The rapper's comments about praying are quite ambiguous, especially considering that he now finds himself in a similar situation.
There has been negative propaganda put out about me that's not true.
What you received on the flash drives, was it the completed book or was it notes from Kim Porter that later were made into a book?
It was completed. It's only 60, it's only about 54 pages.
Sure, and in the beginning it says, Kim made me promise that if something happened to her, I would make sure this book became public to the world. The way Sean moved, I knew that was a promise I would have to fulfill. Kim knew I was a woman of my word, and this book was going to make it to print. So it sounds like it is a woman who wrote up the notes from Kim Porter. Does that sound accurate?
It's how you read it, yes. I haven't even read the book.